And I think a lot of white liberals are. And it's a strangely racist kind of thing they do, where they put blacks on a pedestal. And it's an ironic pedestal, though, because they also see blacks as their pets. And if they behave badly on the pedestal, they're banished to a timeout. Like, remember in California with Prop 8, they were trying to get same-sex marriage passed, and the black vote killed it. And you could see liberals, they weren't going, oh, I guess you guys put Christianity above my sort of views of tolerance and equality. I never thought of that. Okay, we got to recalibrate this, because I put my sort of personal politics above Christianity, but you guys go to church every Sunday. I didn't think of that. It wasn't that. It was bad dog. No. How dare you kill Prop 8? No. And of course, black America, black Californians didn't go, oh. They went, yeah, I always suspected that you were full. Now I'm learning the hard way.
Well, Mexico is not a hostile nation like you mentioned earlier.
Of course it is.
The people that are coming from, no, of course it isn't.
Mexico could stop this right now. Mexico is a very long country. It's a long way from Honduras to Tijuana. They could stop this, but they're not. This is an act of hostility. Hold on. The policies that affect all of us as Americans, then you're saying that Hondurans have a right to come here because we take the natural resources of Honduras somehow? Can you be a lot more specific?
Oh,
are you representative of people on the left? Is everybody this dumb?
The United States has a large
what are you talking about?
Sure about that?
Black people that he asked his security guards to kick out of the rally.
Oh, and Valdosta State?
Yeah.
Talking about, they were protesting against him.
Yeah, and what is that?
You cannot protest in a rally. Why would you do that?
Right, it's freedom of speech.
We don't go to your rally. We don't go to your rally. He does the same thing to white people, too, so I don't understand. He does the exact same thing to white people, too, so...
And that makes it okay.
I mean, if you're going to protest against us...
Paid for it.
Yeah.
They don't like Trump supporters.
I was looking up for myself.
That was his grandfather, and his father was KKK members.
Okay.
So read the history.
KKK members, you mean?
Yes.
Not KK members.
They was Ku Klux Klansmen. KKK.
Klansmen, okay.
Who's against your color?
Okay.
Against your skin? Against your people, your ancestors?
I think the Democratic Party founded the KKK, by the way. Just saying.
Pete, this happened too when it came to those monuments. Many people wanted to erase people like Benjamin Franklin, who actually owned slaves, but guess what? He turned around and wanted to free slaves and worked to do that. So if you only cover parts of the story, you really don't get the full evolution of people's life. Think about Dr. King. He was a womanizer and did a lot of things that wasn't, right. But he also was a powerful figure in American history that led people to Washington, that stood up for civil rights. I mean, you can cherry pick up everyone except for Jesus Christ in the United States, and you're going to find something bad about it.
At least one politician in Europe is fearlessly raising an alarm about the kind of society European elites want to create, one that is rejected unanimously almost by European citizens. In a speech yesterday kicking off his party's bid for re-election, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban warned that politicians in Brussels, Berlin, and Paris are going to destroy Western civilization with their enthusiasm for mass migration. Left unchecked, he said, Europe could end up with a Muslim majority, while the continent's Christian culture would be blotted out. Orban is not crazy, actually, on a math level here. Hungary's population is below 10 million. Its birth rate is not high. It wouldn't take a huge wave of immigration from Muslim nations to overrun and eventually obliterate a culture that has existed for thousands of years. In America, that's considered a small point. Who cares? But if you've been there for a millennium, maybe you do care. Polls show that more or less most Europeans agree with that. Last year, majorities in Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, and several other countries said they wanted a total freeze on immigration from Muslim countries. Naturally, though, EU leaders denounce Orban as authoritarian. Hilarious. Considering the source, their motto effectively is do what we tell you, or you hate democracy.
My point is that you're an idiot. So you have no facts to base your statement.
That is absolutely not what I said, and you're distorting it. Infowars sucks.
You called me an idiot for no reason. There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, there I go.
There he goes. There he goes.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to do anything.
Of course, because you're a coward.
Weren't you about to run away?
No, I was about to leave because I don't really feel like listening to like you.
All right.
You want to put that on the air, put that on the air.
Will do. Will do. Thank you for that content. Don't worry, son. You can do better than your father. Yeah, nobody knows who you are. You're literally a nothing. You're nothing.
I got $60,000 on my stomach right now, bitch. Go get some real gear.
Congratulations to you. You have 0 viewers. You got $60,000, but you have 0 viewers. Yeah, you're really doing a great job raising your daughters in a world of lies.
Yeah.
Well, you don't see a whole lot here, do you? Their husbands probably didn't let them come.
Oh my God. I've read passages and there's a lot more violence in the Bible, and believe me, I grew up Catholic.
That's why you see Christians running people over in the streets of London, right?
Oh.
Actually, this is the question I've been asking. Would you rather have women's rights or Islam?
I actually don't have a problem with Islam. I don't see it being incompatible with women's rights.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though I can't walk into the front door of a mosque in Whitechapel.
And this is what happens when people who hate Trump try to answer them. They just stutter around and they have nothing to say. I was open-minded. I tried to have a conversation with her. She threatens to sue me. She just says I'm discredited, and she wants some more, apparently.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror?
With my 2 eyes. You just realized your own fallacy right there.
What do you mean?
He hates immigrants, but he's married to one.
Exactly. So why is he anti?
Exactly. He's not.
That's not. Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Called Mexicans rapists.
Wrong.
No, he has.
Wrong.
Someone
pull it up. I don't know.
Democrats care about the inner city when it's election time. After election time, what do you get? Zero. What was her response? Quiet. Why? Because that is the truth. He told the unadulterated truth. And even though people don't want to hear the truth is bitter, but we have to swallow it. The Democratic Party, I voted for over 20 years of my life. I voted for Barack Obama when he said he was going to bring hope and change. And yes, we can. And no, we didn't. The jobs didn't come. The better schools didn't come. The investment in our communities did not come. National security, our borders are open. We're not safe. We're not safe. And we've got to stop thinking as black and white and purple and Arab. We've got to start thinking as Americans. And that's what Donald Trump is saying. We're Americans. America first.
I understand your theory that gender doesn't exist. Not a lot of professionals agree. But why do you get to go to my kids' school and tell them that gender doesn't matter? And I lost my ad agency for saying trans people are mentally ill gays. I don't think you're trans, first of all. I think maybe there's like 700 people in America who are genuinely unsure what gender they are. I think they are mentally ill. But the rest of you, the other millions and millions with all your pronouns, you are following a fashion trend. And by the way, don't teach fashion trends to my children. Hi, these are punks and mods. It's really important that you identify as a punk or a mod or a rocker. If you go to Brighton Beach, you're going to have to fight mods over your different musical tastes. No, you're not allowed to bring that into the kindergarten classroom. But it's starting to appear that not just that genuine trans movement are mentally ill. I'm starting to think everyone who's involved is mentally ill. I'm starting to think gays are mentally ill gays, or at least there's a disproportionate number, because check out this sketchbook! Look at this sketchbook! Stop! Stop! That was Dylan Roof you just saw on the previous page. This page, there's Dylan Roof, my friends. And the next page, what do we got here? In the bottom right, we have Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Remember that AC/DC jam? Can you show that picture, Dave? And then we have, of course, in the middle there, inarguably, that is meant to be Jeffrey Dahmer. It's a good drawing, by the way. Aisha, I'll give you that if you drew this. And then in the corner's Ted Bundy. Now, we know a kid didn't draw these. They're showing this B-roll in the school. It's probably one of the adults we see in this video. It looks like it might be Aisha. Why is this Trans Alliance worker, if it is her, going to our schools and then sitting around drawing serial killers next to our kids? When the cameraman was going, can I get some B-roll, maybe like some little clay pots you kids made? She goes, actually, you know, you might want to get this. This is like some serial killers I've been doing a really good job of drawing. I don't want her in the school. I don't want this person around any children on earth. It's like they went into math and they said 2 and 2 is no longer 4. Or what is it? Oh, it depends how you're feeling. You got to practice. You got to practice and eventually you know. I find it helps to draw serial killers. I draw people who murder women and children and innocent people. I draw those and it helps me figure out this insane jargon that I preach to people.
One of the major problems in this country is this sort of reflexive it's a sort of reflexive oppression. You know, you're a woman, you're black, you're gay, you're just expected to have politics X. I'm not suggesting that all of the black people who see what Kanye has said and are kind of secretly titillated or excited or thrilled by are going to rush to the Republican Party. but it would be nice if people were able to express themselves a bit more freely, openly, and honestly. And that's what, you know, this is what the left has done by, by criticizing, free expression, by policing our language. They've made Kim Kardashian the most sensible person in the country. All she said was, wouldn't it be nice if we could all just express how we really feel? You know, there's an entire generation of black Americans who do not like the Democrats. Kanye said, and he was absolutely right, Obama was in office for 8 years. What changed in Chicago? Actually, nothing changed for black people in the country more generally. Things got worse. He's quite right to point that out. He's perfectly entitled to point that out, and lots of black people agree with him. The Democrats have an existential problem on their hands, which people like me, of course, find a delicious prospect. If black Americans suddenly say, actually, what did you do for us? Because you said that you supported us, and you called all of these people racist, and I don't really see the evidence for that. And as far as I can tell, stuff for black Americans is worse than ever. I mean, this is an existential problem for the Democrats. Well, they're going to be left with like 5,000 angry lesbian gender studies professors and some dreamers by the end of it all. I mean, it's over for them if black Americans suddenly start being independent. I'm a gay Jew with a black husband and an immigrant, by the way. I check all the Democrat boxes, but because I have the wrong opinions, they call me a white supremacist, they call me an anti-Semite, they call me a Nazi. It is an awful thing to endure. Now, I'm not a victim. I can take it. You know, I have big whatevers and resources and an attitude problem, so I'm fine. But there are plenty of people who are not fine. For every time that happens to me, there are like 200, 500 people you don't hear about who will never express their political opinions in public again.